It sounds like a Geiger counter. Welcome back to Living with a Classic, and we're here with my 1975 XJ-S project car. Last time you saw it, we just fit nice EBC brakes up front, and I said that the next thing we're going to do is the same in the rear. Drop the rear suspension, have a look at that. However, two things had me change my mind. We are still going to drop the rear suspension, don't worry, but we're going to do that a little bit later, because a good friend of mine who I contacted earlier, who's going to be welding and painting my S-Type, the 1966 one. He's going to get it sometime this spring. I talked to him about the work on this car, and he said, you know what, why don't you send it over to me? I'll fix it up, and while he has the car, I can have his XJ-S. He has one as well. It's an 80s one. It's been sitting for years, and it just doesn't want to start. It's a fuel issue. Fuel's not coming up to fuel rail thing. Also, he wants me to replace, all the fuel lines in the engine bay. So we're going to swap cars for a couple weeks. He's going to weld up the floor, the outer sill, and a couple things on this thing, and I'm going to get his XJ-S running. So I think that should be a lot of fun. But to do that, we have a couple of things. Well, if I wanted to weld inside the car, I want to remove the dash, I want to remove the center console, headliner, and a few things I want to be completely stripped out. Also, so that we can look underneath the dash, make sure there's no rust or anything in there, because if there is, we'll have to sort it out then. The other thing is, he has a very similar situation like I do. He works from home in a small workshop, and he also has a tiny little hill up to his workshop. So he said it's great if the car runs. This one did run when I put it in here, taking the plugs, I've done a couple of things, but it was hot wired. I think today we are going to put this in. We won't mount it in fully, just put it with some zip ties for now, but we're going to make sure that the car can be started from an ignition switch, just to make it easier for him. He only has to start it once and have it run about 30 meters or so that's not going to be an issue. That will be a future episode where we try and get this thing running once more. I'll put a different map sensor in. But today, I thought we'll put this in, and then let's see what electrical things work and what don't work. Because then in the next episode, we're going to rip the dash out and other things, and then what we know that doesn't work, we can have a closer look at when everything is apart. So let's put this in and see if anything comes to life. Okay, so step one should be pretty easy, but I've already done, actually first step, I removed this, which the previous owner had installed as a way to get the car running. So just a hot wire thing. I think I'm actually going to keep this somewhere, because it could be good if you come across one of these cars with a dodgy ignition switch. You can just bypass it and see if things work. However, let's plug this one in. And it goes without saying, yes, the battery is, of course, disconnected from the car. That should be the correct way. At least I think so. Okay, there we go. That is connected. Got the switch here. And yeah, like that. Put that to the side. I'll go connect up the battery, and we'll see if we have any life. I think before the only thing we had was turn signals, and that was pretty much it. Battery is connected. No smoke anywhere yet. And well, I can't see if this light works. It's up here, at least I found it, but there is a dome light up here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it with the camera, but okay, that actually turns on. I'll show you that a little bit later. That turns on. Let's flip the ignition to the accessory mode. Okay, we got relays clicking back here. That is a good thing. Alright, we don't have any indicators. Let's turn the ignition to the on position. I still have fuel pump disconnected and ignition, but okay, main relay for the ignition clicked. The voltmeter went up, and yeah, everything else stayed the same. Nothing really is going on there. Get back to the on. Let's see. Okay, central locking is trying to click. I think the issue is, yeah, it's completely stuck. These adjusters here. So electrically, that works. Just need to lubricate that. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I hope you guys can see that on camera. Clock is ticking. Doesn't seem to be the correct clock for this car, I think. I think it's supposed to look like the XJ6 clock I have. But that is working. What is... That's the hazard switch, I think. Okay, so that's not working, and now it's stuck. But that was not working. Map light is probably the one that's disconnected here. Interior light as well. What else? Let's just... Okay, it's on the accessory mode. Let's move some things and try the electric windows. Not a single light from it. Let's put it in. Alright, we actually do have a light on the dash. It's volts, so yeah, alternator light turns on. That's a good thing. Let's try heated rear window, maybe? Ooh, that lights up here. Rear the mist, it says. So that's something. Okay, so I grabbed this, which is the bottom part of the fuse panel, or what opens up here. The rest of it is completely gone. So I have a replacement one from a later car, which I'll have to recover to make it look like an early car. And I have a test light, so I thought we could have a look at the fuses, see if anything goes. I think the one thing we could try is the climate control. Okay, that's completely dead. Pretty much as expected. Or wait, which position is the key in? Okay, we're in accessory mode for the key. Let's see if we can find the climate control on here. Wiper, air conditioning control system, air conditioning clutch, screen watch, horn, and fan is 35. So let's see if the horn works. Okay. The horn actually works. Sounds terrible, but it works. So, you know what? I heard relays clicking in here. Okay, let's it sounds like a Geiger counter. Alright, I think we just have a really bad connection here on that fuse. I'm on that fuse number 11, which is for the climate control. So I can hear the relays over here clicking for the servo. So that's really good. Let's let me see if I can just get this fuse out of here. There we go. It's a good fuse at least. Or, no, it's not really. It's twisting here on the ends. I'm not going to go replacing fuses right now, but let's just see if I can sort of do the whole rolling fuses thing. Alright, are you hearing that? I can't believe it. Getting the climate control servos to work. Or the servo. Okay, well, I'm not really doing a proper job here. I should replace this fuse. let's actually go and see if I have one laying around nearby. Alright, let's see if this works better. As you can see, the heater mode here is completely rusted out. So I have a spare one, so that's also a reason to remove the dash and just make sure that there's no other damage from the water coming in from that windscreen all those years. Let me try and do all this one-handed. Once again, I find that these newer fusers, they're just not as wide as the old ones, so they don't make a good connection without having to bend the tabs. Let me get a screwdriver, we'll bend those tabs a little bit, because I'm just curious to see if that climate control wants to move back and forth or not. Alright, that did not make it better. It's still really glitchy, so I think we just have a lot of oxidation, probably connections on the back of the fuse box. So that will have to be removed and all that cleaned up when the dash is out. But I did manage to get this thing moving a complete rotation in one way, and then the other way a complete rotation. I just need to wiggle the fuse the whole time. So the servo part of the climate control seems to be working. I got the heaters to start making a little bit of sound, but it was difficult to keep everything moving. So pretty confident that that part works. It's just really bad oxidation back here. And let's see which one is the indicators. Hazard warning. Should be the same one, number 2, I think. Let me see. Sublights. Aerial. Yeah, should be. So put that in one position and wiggle fuse 2, because I thought they were working before. Yeah, there we go. Exact same issue as before, or on the other side. We just have really bad connections in that fuse box. But okay, so I think that's the hazard that's stuck on now from. So that's working. At least electrically. I will need a new button or rebuild this one. But that's working. And that was at least working before. Alright, well, we know what's going on. This all needs to be fixed. But one thing I'm wondering, I have not been able to budge this light control at all. It's stuck up in a really weird position it's not supposed to be in. So I'm looking at a screwdriver. We'll just take this apart a little bit and see if something I can fix or if I need a new part. Because, wait, what's... Okay, that does not... I hope that's the back of the old ignition switch. What does it look like? Yeah, it looks like that. Okay, good. So that's probably not part of this. But let's take that apart and see if we can do anything with it. Some destruction later. Not something I like, but when I got this off, it was stuck on so badly that it snapped. And, well, yes, I know that there is a little button here that you push in, or, that it sort of catches on that should let you pull it off. But everything is so rusted solid that did not happen. You see the whole thing cracked. It's going off. So, if you have one of these, let me know. One of these as well. Actually, I think I have one, but at least one of these knobs. And I will need one of these switches as well, I think, because it is completely rusted solid. I put a wrench on here and tried to move it back and forth. Not happening. I hope that this is the same as an XJ-6 and 12 Series 2. It does look very similar. The only annoying thing is that the connections are riveted. But I'm guessing, I haven't had the light switch out of those cars before because they haven't gone bad. But I'm guessing that there is a yes, there is multi-connection right there. So if you have one of these, please let me know. I'm going to start looking for one along with possibly the trim and at least the knob. But yeah, this does not turn at all. I think we can give it one more try. Try and hold it with a pair of vice grips and see if I can get this thing to turn at all. But I really don't think so. I think something really bad happened to it and it was turned all the way to the right, and yeah, I don't really know, but I'm going to give it one more try. So you may remember that the glove box was shut. Someone else has done this to the lock before, so I think I'm going to have to look for a replacement, but I got it to open. It is, you see, it's very, very stuck, but we can lubricate that a little bit. Yeah, it's a shame about the lock and everything, but we'll try and polish this thing up if I can't get a hold of a lock and make it look as nice as possible. I have noticed that, you know, pre-HE things are not the easiest thing to get a hold of, but yeah, definitely a bit rusty in here, so I think it's a really good thing we're taking the dash out, make sure that everything's not too bad, and we can clean this up and paint it. Yeah, let's see, there we go. The mirror is at least there and has not been damaged, tiny bit around the edge, but not too bad. And what I was really hoping for was to find some good spares in here, but nothing really that good. 2 old thermostats, so maybe there's no thermostats in the engine. We will find out when we take it all apart. But yep, we have a light cover, which I think is for that one, so that's really good. We have a light bulb. Ooh, I know what this is. This is one of the corner pieces for the chrome or stainless around the rear window. That's really good. I hope there's one more. Oh, cool. Both of those. A piece of glass. I have found some broken glass in the car, so maybe at some point something has broken in this car. And otherwise, a washer, a screw, and a nut. But let's actually go back and see, because I think I'm completely missing the stainless around the front window. But yes, I am missing the bottom straight piece here, and I'm guessing that these are corner pieces, so that is very good. Just need to get a hold of that bottom piece there. It's a good thing I got the glove box open, also because I haven't taken an early dash out, but at least on most other Jags, when you take the dash out, you need to take apart the glove box to do that as well. But does work, so that is one step in the right direction at least. Alright, wasn't really the biggest thing in today's video, but at least now the car should function off the ignition switch. I haven't tried to start it. We do want to fix a few things underneath there. Yes, it does have the really old fuel hoses, but only really needs to run for a couple of minutes, and it will be with the bonnet open and just a close eye on everything, not up to operating temperature, just to move it on off a trailer and 30-50 meters into a workshop. But that little plastic fuel filter in there, I'm going to remove that and just have a look over everything. Put the spark plugs back in, and actually the engine has been sitting now with some oil in those 2 rear cylinders that have a little bit lower compression, which I think is really just the rings. So they've been soaking for a bit. That's why we did not try the ignition switch in the starter right now. It should work, but yeah, I don't want that oil to go anywhere. I want to let it sit, at least for another week, have that sort of marinate a bit. But I think the next thing we'll do is remove everything else from the interior, the headliner as well, remove the center console, and just leave it so that it would start and run. That's pretty much all I needed to do. Start, run, and sort of stop so that he can get in there. Then he'll weld it all up, we'll get it back, then I can paint the floors. I think we're going to do pour 15 or something like that. All the new floors, paint them up, make it look really nice, and start seeing if we can get an interior going for this thing, and then also the engine, the big fun thing. But and when it comes back, we'll remove the rear suspension then. That's just because I don't want to have because I'm going to polish things up, I'm going to paint it, make it look really nice, the whole IRS, and then I don't want that to be in there and then have my friend have to be way too careful when welding around that. So I wanted to, any rust you find, I wanted to weld and fix that now so we know the car is good and then don't have to go back and remove things again. So that's why it was a little bit of change of plans. So I hope you guys understand. I hope you're excited about the videos coming up, which will be getting the dash out and all of that. And also you will get a bonus XJ-S content because of course we will do a will it run for an XJ-S that hasn't run for, I think it hasn't run for 10 or 15 years. And we're going to see if we can get his car back into life. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Until next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.